Are you blessing at the same time, simultaneously? You cannot choose anything. You have to bless simultaneously. When the condition is fixed like that, you have to bless simultaneously. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging simultaneously with it. We don't have to choose whether there are karmic difficulties or not. Bless simultaneously with it. Not involve discarding itself, disengaging, discarding itself with everything. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. This is helping through unwinding and releasing altogether. Blessing the karmic difficulties that is arising as well. Whether they are karmic difficulties or not, if they are there or not, bless simultaneously. Everything is karmic difficulties. Oneself, the seer, the knower. Mental karma and its retribution is karmic difficulty. Body, mind is karmic difficulties, physical, verbal, and mental. Make a conclusion with the essence of the purification simultaneously. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging simultaneously. This will help through unwinding and releasing simultaneously with all the actions of physical, verbal, and mental. This is not about a practice. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Let's not just practicing only. Practicing is a karma. Working as well is a karma. Trying to make body and mind in this way or that way is karma overlaying totally. Helping through unwinding and releasing simultaneously. Nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement simultaneously with it. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging simultaneously with it. Think of it. That is a purification in the reminders themselves. Reminders purifying themselves. Thinking that purifying itself. Reminders that purify themselves. All the bondage will be released accordingly and automatically. Bless everything. Use it like this as a blessing. Don't think of separating something from anything. Help through liberation. Beyond liberating or not. That which has nothing to do with being liberated or not. That which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. This will be beyond liberation or not liberation. This is the essence of the great compassion to help end for samsara continuously. Therefore, the essence of the cutting deluded knowing and samsara and all things has to be one, so that there is a liberation. This is not about liberating from anything, separating from something. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Proceeding simultaneously with everything, with any state of mind, so that there is no rejection from the mind to all things. Because sometimes the mind is always rejecting and choosing sides, choosing good or bad, liberating or not. This is the mind that has the desire, tricking and controlling and misleading, choosing to be attached or non-attached. The choosing itself is the desire that is misleading. There is no need to choose neither of it, whether it is liberating or not, attachment or non-attachment. Don't let there be an option, because that is the desire, the causes of suffering, and the suffering in itself. Therefore, purifying simultaneously, that it has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, be one with everything. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, simultaneously with everything. Simultaneously with everything. Be one with all things. Nibbana is one with samsara, so that there is a purification from Nibbana for samsara. So, if there is anything of a rejection or option, purify such opinions, because that is the desire that is misleading and tricking to reject. The desire is tricking and misleading to discard, for example. Nothing to do with discarding or not. There is no need to opt out for anything. The desire is always misleading and tricking the opinions to create choosing, to create option, to choose attachment or non-attachment, liberation or not liberation. Then it is a cause of suffering. Nibbana has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment at all. Attachment or non-attachment is the work result of the desire tricking the opinions of the mind. The firm attached to the delusion create and fabricate opinions and meanings. It is tricking, it is misleading by the desire to delusively choosing sides. Any sides are anatta, totally, not attached to itself. How can there be any choosing? To choose something that is non-attached, how can it be? Because it's non-attached to itself in its nature already as it is. There is no need to choose again. All things are non-attached in its nature. There is no need to choose again, to not attach. This is the desire to choose. Choosing to not attach. Therefore, it becomes attached to the non-attachment. Then there's always conflicting with each other in the way that is tilting on one side on and on. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. There's no need to choose whether it is engaging or disengaging. Neither choosing. Nothing is within engaging or disengaging with everything right away. If there is an opinion about anything, it will create separation and choosing, purifying well all the opinions and feelings and such a desire, that which has nothing to do with desire or no desire, craving or not craving, nothing to do with wanting or not wanting, desiring or not desiring. Make a conclusion to purify like this, that which has nothing to do with being liberated or not. Then it will be beyond being liberated or not. This is turning into Nibbana, purifying samsara. There's always misleading, both mundane and Dhamma. How can it happen with such a way of worldly or spiritual? This is misled by the desire totally. Being obsessed with significance and meanings in anything on and on, there is no such a thing. No, nothing is in mundane way or spiritual way. It happens because of the desire, misleading it, tricking it. Nothing is within worldly way or Dharma way. Nothing is in anything. Being amidst everything in the way that is nothing in the midst of anything. Let's conclude well. Otherwise, there is an ego in the middle of something. It's going to be surrounded, being hit again. Being amidst anything doesn't mean that there is someone being amidst of something. Nothing is within yes or no with anything. Continue to use the reminders to cut through themselves constantly, purifying themselves constantly. Don't use reminders in a way with desire to be liberated, to enable to end the karma and karmic difficulties. These are the reminders that create issues, always continuing in such a way, on and on. How can it happen with the desire? It has to be the reminders that purify themselves so that they will not become samsara. Otherwise, it will continue with the desire and it's not ending. Let the reminders purify themselves, not with desire to choose sides, wanting to be liberated, this and that, wanting to be attached or not attached. Some group wanting to be attached, some group wanting to be not attached. That is the desire that is misleading. Anatta doesn't mean attachment or non-attachment. Everything is anatta. Anatta doesn't signify anything, but the desire, tricking and misleading, fabricating, creating conditions to dominate oneself, creating conditions to dominate the creator itself, creating belief values to dominate oneself and circling by oneself in it, creating it and circling in it by oneself, creating conditions to dominate the creator itself, having to do like this, like that. This is the intense samutai, practicing only the cause of karma, cause of suffering. The practice itself is the creator. That is the desire. It is the cause of suffering. That's why let's end it. End even the ending itself. That which has nothing to do with the attempt to begin or to end, that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. There is no need to become a creator and taking on its own creation with anything. The chooser is the desire itself. Choosing to be attached, to detach, to be liberated or not, choosing to be enlightened or not. The chooser itself is the trigger, is the cause of suffering, is the desire that is misleading. Therefore, purifying and giving ending to the misleader itself. Nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement, so that it will not misleading to delusively misleading oneself to involve or not involve with anything. That it has nothing within involvement or non-involvement. Don't let the desire delusively tricking to involve or not involved delusively with anything. Nothing is within involvement or non-involvement. Don't let the desire tricking oneself or misleading oneself to delusively involving or not involving. Nothing to do with yes or no with anything. Don't be delusively tricked by the desire to yes and no with anything. Nothing to do with ending or not ending. Don't let the desire tricking and misleading to end something or not ending something. To let go or not letting go with anything. Don't let the desire tricking oneself to mislead delusively, to let go or not let go with anything. This is ending of the samutai, the cause of suffering and the suffering. Nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. Don't let the desire delusively tricking oneself to be delusively involving or not involving with anything. Nothing is within liberation or no liberation. Don't let the desire to delusively to try to be liberated or not liberated with anything from anything. In this way, it will be amidst anything in the way that is not about something in the midst of something, but instead it will be in the midst of something that is not in the middle way. It is Sunyata Nibbana, purifying samsara instead, in the way of purifying through the emptiness without traces instead.